Today we're asking the question whether you can contribute to an HSA if you or your spouse has an FSA in the same tax year. And the answer is, it depends. So there's actually several types of FSAs. The primary one people enroll in is what's called a healthcare or general purpose FSA. Those are the standard FSAs that I see, most people think of. You can put up to about $3,200 of pre-tax funds in 2024 into that FSA account through your employer, and then use it to reimburse yourself for any type of medical expense that you have only for that tax year, or else you end up forfeiting most of the funds. Now, most open enrollment forms these days are smart enough to know you can't be enrolled in a general purpose FSA and an HSA at the same time. But if you're married and your spouse is on their own health insurance plan, it's important for you to know that you cannot contribute to an HSA if your spouse has an FSA plan, even if your spouse's FSA plan doesn't cover you specifically. The reason why is a bit too complicated for this video. Just remember, you cannot contribute to an HSA if you or your spouse has a general purpose FSA. Now, there's a couple other types of FSAs where you can still contribute to an HSA. So one of the types is called a dependent care FSA, which you can contribute up to about $5,000 per year in pre-tax funds, and that can pay for daycare expenses. If you make over $155,000, you can only dodge taxes on the first $2,500 of contributions into that type of account. And then there's also a limited purpose FSA, which you can only use for dental, vision, and in some cases, you can use them for medical expenses, but only after you've hit your deductible. I remember a few years ago, when my wife was pregnant with our first daughter, we knew that we were going to hit the out-of-pocket maximum for that upcoming year with having the baby. So we maxed out my HSA, but then we got a limited purpose FSA on top of that and funded the limited purpose FSA with the difference between our out-of-pocket maximum and the deductible so that we could use those pre-tax limited purpose FSA funds to cover that gap and not have to use our HSA for that $2,000 difference between the out-of-pocket maximum on our health plan and the deductible, and keep that $2,000 invested in the HSA plan. So to sum it all up, you cannot contribute to an HSA if you have a general purpose FSA, but you can still contribute to an HSA if you have either a dependent care FSA and or a limited purpose FSA, assuming you've met the other HSA eligibility criteria, which I discussed this week on my blog, which is included in the comments section of this video.